All right, today we are once again reviewing Miss Pearl or Miss Pearly Thing's recent podcast that she did last week. In this particular segment, this panel was discussing about the age range of maturity in men. So I want y'all to listen to this conversation. I want y'all to give your perspective about this in the comment, and also I'm going to give you my perspective as well too as we review this video about this interesting topic. All right, so let's go ahead.
You think you're talking about skills in a man that is a man that has lived, a man that's matured, a man that has had relationships, learned about himself and others. We're talking about men in their 20s and 30s that have yet to become.
Exactly, and I think
so. We cannot have the same attitude at all. You're talking generationally completely different.
I think
the value base is completely different. The way that they are raised are different. Your expectations for our 2023 men that have been raised with sometimes very little foundation. You're expecting so much for them to have all of these qualities that your man of X years and X age and big age are having. I don't think they can be compared.
I think the point is to pick a good man that you can trust.
100%. But I'm talking about, we're here now. Okay. We're here trying to find this good man. But in the Mecca, we're like, oh no, the nonsense is happening.
Listen. Hold on. I've been listening to, I haven't even said nothing for ages. Yeah, like at the end of the day, it comes down to who you pick.
Yeah, 100%.
It comes down to who you pick. So you can say all of this. Oh yeah. Oh, we're trying to find these good men. At what age are you trying to find these good men?
And where are you trying to find them?
Can I say something, King Riches?
Yeah.
Right. You're saying about picking. The problem that I find nowadays is that the women's picking. Don't let the women pick. The men's supposed to pick.
Yeah, that's
no.
Hold
on.
The men's supposed to pick.
Well, I have to push back on that one. All right, I got to push back on that. See, one thing about traditional women as she is, right, as Auntie is, right. One thing about them is this: sometimes they be so caught in their traditional ways, right? Or they be so caught in their traditional ways that they don't know how to evolve in it. Okay, what I mean by that? Sometimes the older women, right, they have to understand that things that happened to them when they was growing up and they got into age, that was for them in that generation. Okay, that was only for them in that particular generation, and the success rate worked for them in their generation. But we're dealing with a whole entire different generation now. This particular generation now has way more knowledge and understanding. They have way more things readily available for them. They have way more information available to them than traditional women in the past. They have way more opportunities available for them than the traditional women in the past. So she had to understand that you can't always have this interpretation that things got to be the way how it was back in your day. You have to have the understanding that, hey, these are new experiences, right? So maybe, just maybe, it is okay to leave the old things back and where it was at in the old and allow new things to come and to evolve into the way that it is. Okay? So
it's what Camilla.
Yeah.
The problem is at 25 there are no men like this. Okay, if you're a 22-year-old woman, you're not going to find a 25-year-old guy that's ready to take charge and lead everything.
That's not true.
No,
that's not true.
That is absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
No,
I'm so
really?
sorry.
No.
I know there are a lot of children on this panel, but you're not going to find a 25-year-old guy that has all of it. When the average kid gets out of school today at like 22, 23 years old,
in England.
No.
you thinking when in England you finish college?
But wait, 18?
No, you don't. University?
University 25.
University. Oh, I'm sorry. We call it different things in America. Yeah. If in university, if you finish that at 20 to 23, there's no way.
21.
21.
That's if you do a full degree.
There's no way.
Mature students, you can
At 24, 25, as a man, you are not going to have all the faculty that you will when you reach 30, 35. You don't have that lived experience yet to know what it's like to lead a household, to live a life, to exist in like the world, and to navigate it in a responsible way.
now, They say they're gonna disagree with, but I actually agree with Destiny on this. I agree with him. I agree. See, the panelists, most of these panelists, they trying to navigate that achieving certain accolades equate to maturity, which that is not true at all. Achieving these type of accolades does not equate to maturity at all. Period. All it is that you just achieve a goal or ambition. That's all it is. Have nothing to do with you maturing mentally. You know what I'm saying? It don't have nothing to do with life experience. Let me give y'all an example as well too. Since we talking about these accolades, right? Give y'all an example. It is one thing to earn a degree in a certain field, right? And you have the knowledge of that degree, or you have the theory of whatever it is that you want got a degree in. But it's a totally another different ball game when you experience it, when you have actual experience in dealing with it. Case in point, when you go after you get your degree, right? There's something that is on called it is called dang. I lost my train of thought. But they call it entry level, yeah. Entry level. There's this thing called entry level, right? When you go into a job, they call it entry level. The reason why they call it entry level is meaning because that you don't have the required experience of the field that you're in. You have theory, but you don't have the necessary experience. So they take a risk in hiring you based on basic theory of what you know, but not based on experience. Likewise, while they taking the risk hiring you, they are hiring your other peers who don't even have a degree in it, right? But they have experience in it. Okay. Same thing dealing with life. Preferably in this situation, we're talking about relationships. 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, whatever, they don't have no life experience dealing with relationships yet. They only have theory behind it. And that theory behind it is based on like I stated in one my other shows I did, right? Is based on them being children that mimic the behavior of their parents. Well, if it's a 2-parent household or a single parent household, they only have theory based on what their parent teaches them and what they mimic in their household. But they don't have experience yet. They haven't experienced anything yet. Now, listen to this, parents, because this is important. This is the reason why. This is the reason why. When you go, just like some of y'all Christians and stuff, right? And y'all quick to quote this scripture talking about train a child the way that they should go, and it should not depart them, right? You could train a child in a certain way all day long. But when it comes to the experience behind it, they have to figure that out on their own. The reason why they got to figure that out on their own because they never had experience. They never experienced that. They only seen what they saw within your relationships. That's theory. But they have not experienced it. And also, this is also the reason why parents, when children get into, your children get to this relationship, and you be like, man, why in the hell did this girl date this knucklehead dude when I done taught them not to date this knucklehead dude? That's the reason why. Is because you taught theory, but not experience. So, and this is also the reason why your same children would say, well, I just had to experience it for myself. Why do you think they say that? I had to experience it for myself because they know the theory behind it, but they never had experience. Same thing about them going out and partying and going to clubs and trying out drugs and stuff like that. Parents would tell them the theory behind it. Even schools would teach them about the theory behind the uses of alcohol and drugs. But guess what they say? Mom, dad, whatever. I just had to go out and experience it for myself and see what it was. That's the reason why they say that. Because it's a difference between theory and experience. And that's what Destiny is talking about. Is that when it comes to theory, people know about it in theory about relationships, but for us experience, they don't have the experience to be on that level, or these young men do not have that experience to be on a level versus a person who actually got into a relationship and been in relationships for like 5 to 10 years or whatever, stuff like that, and have proper experience dealing with this. That's all what he's talking about.
I think it's so funny that you guys are the first ones to say that we have too high expectations, and then come and tell us that we're not picking the right men and that we're just picking irresponsible men. Like, let's see this dichotomy. You could date an older guy.
Yeah, and that's true too. I'm rewinding back. And that's also true. I'm not talking about what she's per se saying and stuff, right? But that's also true that these type of women, they honestly do be picking the wrong man. They really do. Now, this is for you, ladies. If you're truly and absolutely committed to actually finding a good man, a husband, and a good man doesn't equate to that dude earnings. A good man do not equate to the dude's earnings, nor it doesn't equate to how much that dude smash it. It don't have nothing to do with that. That is not considered as a good man. That is considered as another accolade. And you need to understand the difference between that. But an actual good man is when he's at a mature state mentally, where he understands his true divine purpose in life, which is to protect and provide and lead his household, or lead his dwelling place, or lead his homestead, or lead his career, or anything like that. That is his, when he get to that mature stage of understanding that and get the knowledge and experience behind that he is considered as a good man. Because he's doing the necessary things to achieve his maximum goal, or his maximum destiny of being a man, or his divine nature of being a man. Okay? But women tend to only go after the man based on, once again, the notoriety, how good he make her feel, and his income, and thinking that's a good man, when it's not. So yeah, you be choosing wrong.
Older guy. If you think that you need a 35-year-old guy, go date one. You could.
That's a quick fix.
Nah, I'm all right.
Come on.
And I disagree with what he's saying too. I agree with Pearl saying about this date an older dude. Typically, right? On average, typically, when a woman reaches up to the age where they actually looking to really get married and stuff, right? Culturally, right? And I'm gonna say this in not, let's say Eastern culture, right? In the Eastern culture, right? Typically, what happens is that once when that woman get into a certain age where she's readily available to be married, you know what they do? The parents will go link that woman up with not a man who's the same age as her, right? Per se. But they will at least try to link her up with a man who's older than her. In some cases, it might be a couple of years older. It may be older than that. Maybe 5 to 10 years older. But typically, they try to link them up with an older guy because they believe that that older guy is way more mature than a young guy mentally. I'm not talking about the notoriety and so talking about mentally. They believe mentally that that older guy is way more mature and he's going to be in his divine purpose. That's why they do that in the East. But in the Western culture, in our culture, we ask backwards. Instead of us working forward, we like to progress backwards for some weird, retarded reason. So we want to look for someone who's either in our same age range, and equate that as maturity, and or like I stated, I also look for a dude who either have income and who could smash it, and try to equate all that together, which it ain't what it is. And it is. Then there's like old dude saying to my, no, you just said, no, that's not settling, bro. It's not settling. It's actually doing good, to be honest. Because that woman understands that she need a mature man to lead her. I'm pretty sure on this podcast, he be telling me beyond using these Kevin Samuel quotes as well on this podcast and stuff too. And that's part of the mature process. Let her find an older dude. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Who could lead and provide for her. Who's mature enough to think that way. And also, that dude would be mature enough to vet out the proper woman. Instead of trying to, as I stated in one of my other podcasts, right? Instead of just trying to get a woman to the smash and dash. He'll be at that mature stage to understand the difference between the two.
But what if I'm attracted to older
What did you say? What did you say?
I want a young man just like myself, so we can relate together. Again, like I don't want a leader.
So relate and struggle then.
You guys keep talking about how you need a man to lead.
Yeah.
I already know myself. I'm an adult. I've spent a lot of time with myself. I'm in tune with myself. What I want is partnership.
Yes, my love.
I want a man that we can actually share.
Partnership does not equate to age, okay, in relationships. Say that again. Partnership do not equate to age in the relationship. Has nothing to do with age. In business, there are different people and different diversities, different age range, all with one common goal. It's to bring profit to their business. So it don't matter about the age. It don't matter about none of that. All it matters is that they're working together to achieve one goal, which is to bring profit to their business. And if they bring profit to their business, it's going to bring profit to them as the worker who works for their business. Same thing in relationship. It don't per se matter about age, okay? It don't per se matters about age for us dealing with partnership. It matters about the maturity level. That's what matters.
Experiences together rather than a leader.
Yeah, I think the problem is when I listen to Pearl and Riches and Auntie, a little bit, mainly you two guys, it feels like you guys are saying that women need to look for fathers.
And this last point right here, this is the point that I disagree with Destiny on this. He making it seem like that women looking for father is a bad thing. When it's not, it is not a bad thing. You know the old saying, right? And y'all done heard it. But you know the old saying where a woman's first love is who? A woman's first love is who? It's not their boyfriend. It's not they dude at school. Their first official love is who? Their fathers. The reason why their first love is their fathers is because a real father will be there for his daughters. A real father will show true love for her true love, how true love's supposed to be to his daughters. And the reason why they will see that, right, is because they will see the behavior of how their father treats their mother. If that father treats their mother with the type of same love and admiration and respect, he's not being manipulative, he ain't controlling her and all these different things like that, and they see that, the daughters would typically fall in love with their father. Not in a, in a sense where it's in an intimate level where it's grown men and grown woman type of level, but it's more of a level where a father and daughter bond relationship. So if that be the case, and if that father is truly in his divine purpose, right, and he's operating as a true good man in his purpose, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with a woman looking for that same type of person or that same type of man? What's wrong with that? I don't see nothing wrong with that. Because at that point, and then here's the argument with relationships too. If that be the case, if a woman was going out and looking for that same type of person, just like her father, guess what's going to happen? It's going to set the bar higher with her vetting out the proper man in the relationship. It's going to set the bar higher where I was stated earlier, where typically children, since they don't have the experience, they just go and date these old knucklehead dudes and settle for them, right? It's going to set the bar higher that now she's going to be vetting out these dudes for real. Like, nah, you ain't, I don't want no fuck boy. Nah, you ain't like my daddy. My daddy wasn't no fuck boy. Nah, my dad was no fuck boy. Nothing like that. No, I don't want you. She would go out and vet the proper dude based on the father. Y'all see how important it is in relationship that both the parents have to be in their divine place. Where the father is actually being a father, he's been a man. He's not being a beta male simp. He's not being a fuck boy or anything like that, but he's in his purpose. And the mom is not this old crazy modern day woman with all this old fucked up mental issues going on with her and stuff, right? But she's in her mature place as well too. And y'all end up creating a love child together. And that child start mimicking that same positive behavior. Do you know if both people would get on the same page and do that, we would not be having this conversation about relationships. Because everyone be on the same level, on the same divine path. And it's just that simple. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment about this. Do you agree with what people on the panel are saying about this? Do you disagree with them? Do you agree with what I'm saying about it, or you disagree about it? Just go on, drop it in the comment and let me know. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode.